Hi, welcome to Sarah Reads Tarot, and I'm Sarah. Today I'm going to be doing a love life reading for the month of September, and I felt really drawn to read for Sagittarius today. So, one thing I forgot to mention in the last love life video that I did was that there are different what are called decanates of the particular zodiac signs. So, all that means is that people are born at different times of that zodiac sign. And so I think it's important also in this spread to pay attention to that, because if you were born in the middle of September, this particular area is going to have more significance to you. But I also look at it in a way of the beginning going into September, the middle of September, and then the end of September going into the end of September for Sagittarius. So let's get started. We're going to take a look at the Four of Swords. Now, this particular card talks about you going into September from already a really emotional, trying place. Okay. And the Four of Swords talks about needing to really take time to reevaluate what's going on with you emotionally. Yes, I realize that the swords do deal with the intellect, but before we get to the heart, we really run a lot of things through our head, right? The brain and the heart. So when it comes to the Four of Swords, in the Rider-Waite deck, you'll see that it's a knight laying on a coffin with three swords above him. And so I usually equate that to someone who's waiting for heartache to happen. Okay. In this case, though, Sagittarius, I feel like you've already been feeling the weight of that. And so life, spirit is really wanting you to concentrate on the fourth sword. The fourth sword talks about that idea of refocusing, not just on love life and interpersonal communication, but what are you doing for your own life cause to improve it and move you away from some of these harder emotional situations. And then we have this wonderful card here, this clarification card that comes from the angel deck. And, it talks about, hey, sure, we've got these Three of Swords that represent, heartache and overthinking. Maybe it's time to focus on our friendship foundations, on the people that bring us joy. Maybe it's time to reconnect, and not just with these people, but with the lighter side of a being. Okay. And so this is where the story starts. We get here to the middle, and it talks about, the Ten of Pentacles. In this particular card, the Ten of Pentacles talks about, generations. It talks about family. It talks about wanting to create, stability for the people that you love. But also, we have these three people in the center, and I always say the number 3 is very powerful. It talks about foundations. What we have going on here, is really this desire to work on what it is that we're creating in our life. This manifestation card, once again, talks about that brain and heart connection and really wanting to give ourselves a break and refocus on our loyalties and the people close to us, and you know, how we move forward from some of those tougher times. Now here, this card always makes me laugh, because young gentleman who is kind of sneaking away from the circus that is his life, okay? You know, he's holding the Four of Swords, but he's also holding the Ace of Swords, the sword of new beginnings in the intellect. So, you know, basically this card is talking about how it's important not to keep things in your head. It's important to be able to express outwardly what you're feeling on the inside, because you can't really just sneak away from your life. I mean, you can, but eventually it's going to catch up with you. Another thing that I feel about this card is that it really is important to be able to forgive yourself for decisions that you've made in the past that you feel uncomfortable with. But it's also important to be able to communicate about some of these past hurts that you've experienced, so that you're not carrying them with you at the expense of your own healing. So we have this card here, which is called the Focus card, and you'll notice that the colors in these two cards are very similar. So this particular card, Sagittarius, is saying it's really important now to focus on your healing. If you've been feeling ill, now's a good time to, you know, put some beauty and good food and good vibes back into your body, but also to focus on that Ace of Swords, that new beginnings in the intellect. What am I going to do with the rest of the year? How am I going to create happier situations in my life? How am I going to nurture the relationships that I'm already experiencing? I feel like, you know, one of the reasons that this card, the Friendship card, comes up is because, you know, we really see you retreating into yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, sometimes we do need to take a break and give our emotions a rest. But once again, I can't stress enough that levity and the lighter side of enjoying the people that you care about is so important right now. And I hope that you got some insight from this reading. If there is some other sign that you'd like to suggest I read for, you can go ahead and send me a message. And whatever your sun sign, I hope your love life is great. Please like and subscribe if you feel it, and have a great day. Thanks.